Do It for the Band, The Women of the Sunset Strip. This is a film where they talk about everything that was going down at Hollywood. I was only 12. This program's rated TV 14. I was 12. And in the documentary, there is a part where they tell you about how Nikki Sixx had sex with a girl who went backstage. And this girl was with another guy, supposedly. And he said something to her, you know, he dropped the line, pickup line. And he pulled, they say, quote, I quote, he pulled her pants down. Okay. Again, I have a crush on Nikki Sixx. So that was love for me right there. You know, watching that, hearing that, and watching this film and how they were showing the clips that they were showing of Nikki Sixx and of this this girl who looks like a model, but they're not showing the girl who Nikki Sixx actually banged. But anyhow, the whole way they put this thing together and just watching it just brought me closer to Nikki Sixx, because I had felt the same way that he felt when he looked at that girl. I was like, well, I want to do you too. You know? I was really, that, for me, that was like a horny moment. Hearing that just made me feel horny, so that was a horny moment for me, looking back on that.
I remember times where I just thought, man, that is so degrading. But then again, the girls would dress up like hookers and walk around.
It's really fun to watch all the sluts walk by.
And in some ways, it kind of hurt the image of women because they got this name attached to them. Sluts.
We were young, we were stupid, we just didn't care.
There were a lot of girls that showed up on the Sunset Strip that would stand in line to have a one-night stand with these rock gods.
Sometimes you push girls to see how far they'd go before they said no, just to see what you could do.
Mötley Crüe did a lot of nasty things, and I'd say they're probably the king of the bad boys.
I had met a girl, and I had to go to the cruise show, so I took her with me. The minute I got backstage, Nikki looks at her and he says, I want to you. She doesn't say no, so he pulled her pants down and had sex with her in full view of everybody. And it really kind of shocked me, but she could have said no and she could have stopped it. Why didn't she?
Those were crazy days, and the consequences of all that promiscuity were really foul.
Crabs! Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
It was just the nastiest thing.
I can't even discuss it.
I seem to recall a big crab outbreak.
It seems like every band went through at least one dose of that.
I've never had those things, unless it was for dinner. Alaskan ones, big ones.
Our tour bus was so infested with crabs, they had to come on the bus and fumigate it. It was like a rolling seafood restaurant.
Somebody had sex with one girl and two girls.
I didn't start the crab epidemic.
I remember Smith got him. I know Stephen had him.
Stephen was the one. Sorry, I'm telling you the truth.
I never got the crabs, so thank God.
We paid the price physically and emotionally for a lot of things we did. As hard as it may be to believe, for many women on the Strip, it was worth it.
They were talented and they were creating this great music, and to just be a part of that at all, you know, you felt fortunate.
Sometimes you do things for art.
Adriana Smith and Steven Adler had dated about a year when she made a contribution to GNR's debut album. Her gift solidified the band's reputation in 1987 as the Renegades of the Strip.
Something came up about girlfriend-boyfriendism. Stephen looked at me and he said, no, you're not my girlfriend, you're not my girlfriend. And I said, oh yeah?
Adriana was pissed off and wanted to make Stephen jealous. So she headed right to the studio to hang out with Axl and Slash.
We were mixing the album, and Axl comes in and he listens to the mix that we have, and he looks and he says, the song's not finished yet.
Axl came and he laid his head on my lap and he got all serious. And he looked at me and he said, Adriana, you know, I want to talk to you about something that's very serious and very special and important to me, and nobody else will do this.
He basically says, I'm going to make you famous, I'm going to you, I'm going to mic it up and we're going to put it in this song and it'll go into the history books, kind of a thing.
And I was like, for the band! Sure, no problem, for the band. And a bottle of Jack Daniels.
I was kind of surprised because it was Stephen's girlfriend. Her whole motto was, for the band, I'm doing it for the band.
He got this big, beaten grin all over his face, and they mic'd the floor of this vocal booth and dimmed the lights, and we just got busy.
She became the voice of the Rocket Queen.
The Rocket Queen, that was Smith. She did the deed.
Rocket Queen became the most infamous track on the debut album. Released in July of '87, Appetite for Destruction became the third biggest seller in hard rock history.
The next morning, I woke up with a headache and kind of realizing what I'd done. The whole Rocket Queen thing at the time was not a glorious heyday of an event. It was kind of something that it weighed on my soul.
The band headed out on a world tour, and Adriana was left behind with a little more than a hangover and a big dose of regret.
I got really, really strung out on drugs and really, really lost, and I was really ashamed.
The whole irony of it is the minute that these guys got any success, those girls were left in the wake.
If you weren't right there on the ship, then you were washed away.
So, on January 2nd, 2010, I turned 13. What did I want to do when I turned 13? Go to Hollywood. Go to the Sunset Strip. Be one of those women who, banned, you know? So, I went there thinking that it was the 80s still. You know, I went there thinking that I could literally rent an apartment for a band, and that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to go up there and just kiss the world goodbye and go live it up and go get laid and go have a big fucking party. I didn't want to leave either. I was looking, and my dad was driving me, you know, and I was looking around. I was like, where's all the people? Where's all the people? I was looking for the glam rockers. I didn't see any glam rockers, you know, and there's really an underground scene that's going on here. It still is going on today, and it's all in the whiskey. It's all in the Viper Room, you know. It's all around you, really. It just, you can't see it. You don't really see it walking on the sidewalks anymore. That street is kind of empty compared to what it used to be. So I came up there thinking that I was going to rent an apartment for a band and have sex and have fun, you know. So I went up there with that intent, and that would lead me on a road where I'd go, you know, where I'd go down. And what I mean by going down, what I mean by that is that I go down a bad path. That I went there with that intent. You know what? And I left with that intent. And I'd go back with that intent. So you know what I did next? I wanted to have sex with someone over the age of 18 really bad. So I start having my dad let me stay in motel rooms with him so we could stay up there because I didn't want to go back home. I wanted to stay in Hollywood. I wanted to stay there. You know what? I wanted to have the most fun that I could possibly have in the summer of 2010. So it got to the point where I convinced my dad to let me stay in motel rooms with him and go to Hollywood Boulevard, you know, and go to Sunset Strip and go to Melrose and go to frickin' Santa Monica, Venice Beach, all these fucking places. And so I want to basically hang out in Hollywood and go back there and crash out. Okay? And you know what? That led to actually renting an apartment. And for the longest time before that, I had plans to get a roommate and get a room. And this one guy, you know what, replied to us. We actually went to a fucking room for rent. Did we ever stay in that room? Did we ever rent that room with him? No, we just visited. So that never went through. But we actually got a short-term apartment in Culver City. Ugh. Well, anyhow, that lasted. I was staying there for about, I don't know, like, I had basically temporarily moved out of my house. I had moved out of my house basically for like, oh God, I think it was like maybe a month or something. You know, it's like by that point I had completely moved out of my house and I was all settled in this apartment with my dad. Just didn't want to be at the house anymore. Terrible, you know? And I was partying. Fucking up all night. I was doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. I was fucking partying. I was just like, you know, out all night, sleep all day, just, you know. Oh jeez. Oh my. It was a mess, believe me. It was just absolute all out, like, and I was, you know, I was trying to come up with these plans. I was coming up with these master plans constantly. You know, I was, in my mind, I had wanted, since I wasn't old enough to go in a bar or a club, I'd actually wanted my own dad to go out and go get a guy for me to have sex with. That was what, and I was constantly, that was what was on my mind, and I was constantly coming up with new strategies over and over and over, while partying like there's no tomorrow. That was my life, and I never got laid, and I never had sex, because of the fact that having sex with somebody over the age of 18, at my age, I was 13, is considered statutory rape. And I had something that my dad didn't know about, that everyone else around me didn't know about, and that I didn't know about either. I thought that I was no different from everybody else, and I'm going to get into that later. Another thing is, through wanting to have sex, I was looking for love. I was like, I want to fall in love. I was absolutely looking for love, because it's something that I didn't have in my life. It's something that I needed in my life, you know, and I really had wanted somebody to have sex with me, and I thought whoever broke my virginity, apparently I was going to fall in love with them. Well, my virginity never got broken, and I'm still a virgin, okay? And now, you know, but, you know, all I had to do back then, you know, is like, you look right behind you, and you know you're already in love with somebody. You know that you're just upset because you're already in love with somebody that you know you can't have, you know, and you're just partying because you're upset. You're upset that the people around you don't recognize your pain, your suffering, your loneliness, your depression, you know. So that was me, okay? I was hanging out at Venice Beach, Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood Boulevard, Melrose, Santa Monica, and the other beach cities. I was all over Los Angeles. I even, you know, we were even driving through some scuzzy neighborhoods. And you know why we were driving through scuzzy neighborhoods one time is because I had wanted to look for an apartment. You know, I was just looking at the signs, you know, you can rent this place, you can rent that place, this place, that place. I just wanted to live in Hollywood. So, because I was after all of this, I wanted to fulfill my life. At school, I was in 7th grade. I was 13. I started becoming a loner and an outcast at school because I was a rocker, I was a hippie, I was a whatever. I was just not like everybody else. Not into the same music, you know, just, I was an outcast. And Nikki was an outcast too, see? So that's something that connects me with him. And when I was 13, I had a wild, aggressive, troublesome, and unruly behavior. I mean, I was rude. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell you some of the shocking stuff that I did when I was 13, going through all this BS. So, to name 7 things that I had said and did when I was around 12 and 13. 1, calling a kid loser and flipping him off outside of school. And I had almost gotten in huge trouble for doing that. You know what? I got away with it. I didn't get suspended. I didn't get detention. You know. Okay, so the second thing is pissing behind a tree at night. I literally pissed behind a tree just for fun. 3, so I had gotten, you know, it just all came out of me, just like, all over the car. It's a huge mess to clean up. 4, burning my hand on an incense stick. I was very much into burning incense back then, and I had accidentally put my hand in the wrong place at the top of incense stick. You're never supposed to put your hand there. Fucking burned my hand. Hurt. 5, watching porn on a daily basis. That's right. Porn channel on a daily basis. And I started at a really young age. We were staying in hotels. In 2007, we were going to those funerals. Accidentally flipped to the porn channel, you know. That's where it all started, really. I mean, that's where it hit home for me. 6, crashing in the car on Hollywood Boulevard. That's right, I fell asleep in the car on Hollywood Boulevard. Not on the car, in the car, that's what I meant. But I had fell asleep in the car on Hollywood Boulevard while the window was open. People walking by all saw me. I was sleeping in the car. 7, apparently, a lot of prostitutes around Los Angeles. And some of these motels, prostitutes were actually coming up to us and talking to us. Talk to some of these prostitutes, just like Nikki has. And for his book, This Is Gonna Hurt, well, Nikki's talked to a lot of prostitutes, because just, you know, yeah, you're from LA, you're gonna know some prostitutes. And that's terrible. It's just atrocity, you know, complete fucking atrocity. So, in August 2010, I started coming back to being a normal human being. When Nikki Sixx was single, that's right. That's right. It took the breakup of Nikki Sixx and Kat Von D for me to finally get the message of the Heroin Diaries and to realize that I was really in love with him and that I was just trying to run away from the fact that I was in love with him. You know? Basically, I'd realized I was just running wild, trying to run away from my own reality of being in love with him. Everything Mötley Crüe was about, I was trying to be about, and I was like trying to run away from the fact that I was in love with him. I didn't want to realize it. I didn't even want to know about it. But why was I reading so much dirt on Mötley Crüe? Why is Mötley Crüe hold such value to me? Why does Mötley Crüe hold such value to me? Because I'm in love with Nikki Sixx. And I didn't want to own up to it. I fucking didn't want to even, acknowledge it. But in August 2010, when I found out he was single, I finally kind of like the puzzle all came together. I had realized that this feeling that I was feeling when I was looking at him was in fact love. Okay? So it took Nikki Sixx being single. It took that news to broke out, Then I confessed to my dad that I have a crush on him, okay? So I made a confession to my dad in the car on Hollywood Boulevard. Mötley Crüe probably was playing. We were probably playing a Mötley Crüe CD. And I had it was really hard for me not to break down in tears. And I told my dad that I had a crush on him. Okay? So that's how that all happened. So because of all this partying that I had did and stuff, I mean, I you really wanna, you really wanna look at me and say that I was almost like a junkie? Well, that's where my life had gone. So I had a dream that Nikki Sixx picked me up and shook me and said, "Stop this behavior. You're driving your parents crazy." I remember crying in that dream, and then he sat me on his lap and he was comforting me, and he just wanted me to tell my parents that I was sorry. So right after I had confessed to my dad, I got this dream. And it was in the desert, like the Royal Underground photo shoot, and there was Nikki, and he just picked me up by the shirt off my back and started shaking me and was like yelling at me because I was just so out of control that it's almost like in that dream he had to yell at me to get me back, to get me to not kill myself. That's what he had to do, was yell at me in that fucking dream. And that wasn't even reality, that was a dream. Okay? Okay. So in September 2010, I had joined MySpace again in hopes of coordinating a date with a single Nikki Sixx. I would go through a phase here where I would embrace something called sexual roleplay. I was dressing up in the sexy nurse costume, schoolgirl costumes, and lingerie. And I really, and I would walk around Hollywood and I was almost like a celebrity. There I was in my stilettos and my makeup. I had actually looked like I had joined the prostitutes all these men like, ow, 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 woo, 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 woo. Even in my hometown, everywhere I went, everywhere I fucking went. So I was like a celebrity, and all the men were like paparazzi to me. They were like paparazzi, but I had just dressed like this, thinking that that's what I needed to do to hook up with Nikki Sixx. I know, totally the wrong thing, right? But I was 13, and that's where my head was at. And that's why nothing has ever worked out with Nikki Sixx. It always has been because of where my head is at, what my status is. You know, my status, too, has a lot to do with it. I also drastically changed the appearance of my face. You know, with makeup. We had went back to Haight-Ashbury back in 2010. I was in this hotel. I started drawing all over my face with an eyebrow pencil in front of the mirror. And I went out and showed my parents, and my mom saw that I had drawn lines all over my face. So I was changing. I was definitely changing into somebody else other than who I was. And so I shaved my eyebrows off, redrew my eyebrows, so I just wanted a more mature-looking appearance. So I did everything I could. I did everything I could in my power to achieve that, and I sure did, because everybody thought that I was 18 when I was 13. I had walked around looking like I was 18 when I was 13, and I had felt like I was 18 too. I had felt like I had already gotten there, that I was already 18, and that I, in fact, wasn't 13 in my head. So I had started calling myself a model. I had wanted to join Playboy, Hustler, and Penthouse, those magazines. I had wanted to pose in them, and, you know, I knew that I couldn't because I was 13. But on MySpace, I was saying that I was trying to do that. And on MySpace, I was really 19. It's another thing. So people, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, man. There's this one band called Mosque. And they sent me a message saying that they had actually called Nikki Sixx, and that he wasn't interested in me. I'm like, really? You're gonna tell me that? On MySpace, sending me a message? You're gonna send me that message? It's like, and I'm sure these guys do not have his phone number. I'm sure it was all bullshit. They were just trying to get me to snap out of my little crush that I was having on him. You know, they were just trying to get me to snap out of it. They were, maybe it was their way of hitting on me because I had looked, you know, like I had looked like a female partner to them or something. I don't know. But that was really rotten, you know, that was really mean, and that really had a big effect on me. So, on Halloween 2010, something else also happened. October 31st, 2010, I went to Hollywood in Beverly Hills. And in Beverly Hills, I didn't go out of the car. I was actually riding in the car. I was wearing my nurse costume in hopes of finding Nikki Sixx trick-or-treating with his kids. That's all I had wanted, was to find Nikki Sixx trick-or-treating with his kids in Beverly Hills, because I had actually thought he was living in Beverly Hills. No. No! No, 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 no! Not Beverly Hills. Not fucking Beverly Hills. Actually, it was Malibu. I didn't know. On November 1st, 2010, I started writing my first diary because my emotions were running out of control, and I had started writing fan letters. I'd started just like drafting fan letters, you know, and that whole diary I'd actually wanted to send to Nikki, but my dad didn't let me. Some fan letters were actually sent later, and I had looked up Nikki Sixx fan mail address, Okay. You know what happened? Those letters came flying right back in the mail. And Black Sharpie returned to sender. You know, it's like... So, my message, when I was trying to reach out to him for help here, because of my problems, my message never got out to him, even on MySpace. And everything that I was saying just sounded so wrong, because I was 13 and I just couldn't get my point across. I was also trying to pursue a comedy gig, sending letters to local bars and clubs, which never happened. I never got a comedy gig. By December 2010, I had stopped provocatively dressing after my counselor, Miss Murray, brought in another 7th grader to tell me how that made her and others feel uncomfortable. And she told me about something called negative attention, which I guess I didn't know about, apparently. That day was a life-altering experience for me because I had started getting some heart and I was starting to think more clearly about how I looked at myself. Around December 20th, 2010, I went to the Whiskey A Go-Go in hopes of finding Nikki Sixx backstage or a connection to him through another musician. I had saw a bunch of thrash metal bands, including one band called Forbidden. One of them walked right past me. There was slam dancing, and some guy behind me grabbed my ass. Yeah, that was a pretty wild night. In November 2010, December 2010, and January 2010, I had known that music was going to be my destiny, because I thought that's the only way that I'm going to possibly win Nikki Sixx's heart, of course. And then I found myself making posters for a one-girl band that never performed. So I was just all by myself, guitar and voice. Never made it. I had also started playing around with learning the guitar, so we get guitar books like arpeggio book, you know, and I never really took it that seriously. My mom bought me an expensive Ibanez whammy bar guitar from Guitar Center as an early Christmas gift. Still have this guitar today, and I play it, and I love this guitar. I still have it. Okay, this is a huge, huge turning point in my life. For the worse, right here. I was getting better, but I got worse when this happened. In March 2011, just when I thought that I was back on my feet again, I had realized that Nikki Sixx and Courtney Bingham were in fact together. Throughout the school year, I'd struggle with my emotions, missing school. I was in 8th grade, and I was 14 years old. The following summer, I'd have a breakdown, a mental breakdown, that is. Before I had found out, I had read This Is Gonna Hurt, and everything that Nikki Sixx taught me about society, I was at the point where I had just thrown all of that out the window. I gave up all my dreams that I wanted to pursue in life at that time, including music. And I'd start to slowly come up with new ones, new dreams. That was my faltering point in life. What happened is that I found out that she's a model. I had only taken one good look at myself at that time to realize that I was in fact not the real thing. I was living in the dust and I had felt ashamed of who I'd become. Most importantly, I had realized that I had failed. Throughout that hard time in my life in 2011, I continued to write diaries and update my Twitter page. I had permed my hair. I was going through a phase where I had wanted to look like I was from the 80s. I had problems with anxiety, paranoia, depression, lack of sleep, and my psychiatrist said that I had OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. That was during the summer. In 2011, I had also realized I was different. From 2011 to April 17th, 2014, I'd call this sexuality of mine feelings for adults. And I'd actually also tell other kids about that, and they'd bully me. They would bully me for it. And at one time in 8th grade, I had actually lied to them, telling them that I was a lesbian, because I was just so sick and tired of telling them the truth that I had feelings for adults and getting bullied for it and getting ew, gross type of comments. I was just so fucking sick of it that I had actually lied and said that I was bisexual. I had told them I was bisexual. They were all asking me, what's your sexual orientation? What's your sexual orientation? What's your sexual orientation? What do you like? Who do you like? You like boys or girls? So I just told them I was bisexual, so they shut up. And I didn't have to tell them about this feelings for adults thing. And that backfired on me because some girls were, questioning me about it. And there was, I remember what happened. The rumor had actually spread around the whole school that I was bisexual. And a group of kids came up to me and asked me about it. Are you a lesbian? I thought you were a lesbian. I heard you were a lesbian. I either told them I was bisexual or that I was lesbian, that I liked girls. It was a lie. So they came up to me and asked me about it. And they got me to fess up and say that I was straight. And it was like, oh, God, I got grilled about it. So, on April 17th, 2014, I found out that what I've had here growing up is actually called teleiophilia. Teleiophilia is a seldom, rare fetish displayed among children and teens for sexual attraction or erotic interest in biologically mature adults. And I didn't know back then. The whole time I was growing up, I never knew that what I had was teleiophilia. And my parents were constantly trying to get me help and stuff like that. I'd see different people because I was driving my mom nuts because I wanted to have sex with somebody over 18. Well, it's no wonder, because I had teleiophilia, and that is sexual interest in biologically mature adults. So, in other words, I think teleiophilia is there's a Greek origin to it, fully developed, fully teleos in Greek supposedly means fully grown. Yeah, the whole time I'm growing up, I have teleophilia. And this is something that I think a lot of the rock groupies, who are teenagers in particular, had in the 70s. And it's actually common in some ways, but you won't hear about the fact that it's called teleophilia. You'll just be shunned for it. You'll just be fucking shunned for it. And your boyfriend or whoever, your sex toy, well, just, you rapists. But really, it's the child, it's the teenager who has teleophilia. It's there's nothing wrong with this guy. It's the girl who has teleophilia, and that's her sexuality. That's her, sexual thing. And it's actually, and this is the scary part, it's actually the reversal of pedophilia, which is, oh God, it's as bad as saying the word hell. But, they also call young girls who have teleophilia being reverse pedophiles. Reverse. That means that we are aimed sexually at older people, you know, and I mean, it really has nothing to do with age for me personally. It has to do with being biologically mature. Are you fully developed? Is your body fully grown? Is your voice fully mature? Blah, 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 blah. You know, is your reproductive system fully developed? So that's what teleiophilia is. And that's the driving force behind me having this intense crush on Nikki Sixx right from when I was little. And I remember seeing Nikki Sixx with Mötley Crüe during Generation Swine era, during New Tattoo era, and so on. You know, I mean, you know. And now and then I had thought, you know, this crush on him that I have is the animal in me. You could almost say that song, The Animal in Me, and Mötley Crüe is actually about me, about this fan who loves, you know, you know, I'm just saying that song is so reflective on me that you could almost say it's about me. But it's a love song that Nikki Sixx wrote, you know, but it could be about me.
I'm just shocked that somebody found this song. You know, I mean, it's one of these songs that one of my favorites on the Saints album, and but for someone to actually go, yeah, I want to do that song, that's pretty exciting. You know, I just and to hear what they did with it, I think it's pretty awesome.
She really nailed it. Yeah. Xander called me when they were in the studio, and he said, "Man, it's amazing seeing Cassidy sing this song. You know, like, and it's kind of all like, you know, veiled in bondage." And I didn't say anything because the song's not about bondage. But then
she was in bondage.
Like the lyrics, like he's like saying, like, you know, like all the stuff about being tied up in bed, and you know, all the lovers that you've had, and all this stuff, and the song is actually it's a love song, and about releasing that part of you when you fall in love. It's like the animal inside of you. It's like all that passion. But Robin heard it as being kind of this bondage song, and like when I was listening to it the other day, I was like, I guess it could be. Could be. So maybe Cassidy, what's going on there? Something we need to know about.
But it's another great, you know, version of a female singing, you know, a Mötley Crüe song that just you know, goes a whole other way.
And you know what? I hear that at rock radio. I could hear that at alternative radio. I mean, it is a crossover song. And having Robin Zander on a track for us, he's like one of Vince's and my favorite people and singers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting when you know, I can get a chance to go out and sing with him myself. So
yeah,
it's cool.
And now I'm trying to say that I have an animal in me too. Especially since Cassidy Pope covered it. I think that's what her name is, Cassidy Pope. She covered it, and Nikki Sixx had opened up about the song a little bit more. And getting me to realize that I actually epitomize what that song is about as a fan of his. Next topic. In December of 2011, I'd experienced my first day of high school being a freshman. Throughout my years being in high school, I'd tell almost everyone I knew about my attraction to Mötley Crüe's Nikki Sixx, and numerous people there and I share one thing that brings us together, a love for the crew. So, how many people? Like, probably 10? 10 people have Mötley Crüe in common with me. You guys, I mean, it's amazing. Mötley Crüe fans in Los Angeles, you know. I mean, really. This band is amazing. You know, just how many fans they attract. Including On August 14th, 2012, I'd see my first Mötley Crüe and Kiss concert. See Nikki Sixx in person for the first time on the tour. A year later in 2013, that would be the same date, I'd attend a meet and greet at Napa Auto Parts in Ontario, California. I will discuss that more. I will discuss more of that in a minute. In October 2012, I found out that Nikki Sixx was engaged to Courtney Bingham. I had just bursted into tears in front of my computer screen. I didn't fully recover until about 3 days later. I was crying. It was very hard for me to deal with. Yeah, at the moment I saw it, I think I was writing in my diary. I go check up on the stats on Nikki Sixx and I see that pop up in front of me. I lost it. I started crying, and anything, it's like, nowadays, even if I just see a ring, or if I even hear the word marriage, if I hear Going to the Chapel, that song, it just reminds me of all this, and I just really want to just scream. I see people getting married, that makes me actually want to scream. That's how bad this is. It's marriage. You know what? That word makes me want to scream. I just found out that I had lost the other part to this recording where I resumed talking about this on September 1st, 2014. Now it's September 2nd. That happens all the time. Recordings get lost, or something doesn't go out right in processing them, and I delete it off of my phone, and then it's not there for me to come back to. So I'm going to continue from where I left off there. When I see Fox News and I hear them talking about celebrity couples, I just want to shoot the TV. I really want to turn the TV off when I hear movies talking about anniversaries, anything that has to do with marriage, even engagement. I just want to totally fucking tune out, I had struggled all 2013 to find a way to meet Nikki Sixx while creating my masterpiece, The Background of Anne. On August 14th, 2013, I'd finally meet him at Napa Auto Parts. He gave me a hug, and I know that I kind of flirted with him by wearing that Ferrari button on my shirt. It was a pin. And I had also told him that I was going to have my dad rent me a Ferrari for my 17th birthday. And that never happened. Update. The last time I met Nikki Sixx was on October 8th, 2014 at Best Buy in Burbank, California at the 6 a.m. signing and meet and greet thing. In late 2012, I had met Don Adkins in Redondo Beach, California. He is the original photographer for Mötley Crüe, and he was also the photographer for Nikki's prior band, London. That day, I had showed Nikki a printed copy of one of Don's photographs. My mom gave him something very personal of hers, one of her rare Elvis photos, which she was supposed to have given it to her brother instead. We snapped a quick photo. Nikki had his arm around me. That kind of chokes me up a little bit. my mom thanked him for being so nice to me on Facebook. My dad shook his hand and thanked him for doing the meet and greet. I was hesitant to walk away. The guy who was the photographer had told us to hurry up. You know that I really didn't want to go. The goodbye I had with Nikki was rather quite dramatic. I had told him that I wanted to see him again because, you know, there's stuff that I'm still hiding inside that I want to talk about with him. Most importantly, I've always wanted to be strong enough just to tell him to his face that I love him, and till this day, I've always been afraid of what he might have to say about it. In October 2013, I met Gene Simmons at Rock and Brews, and I met Tommy Lee at the School of Rock in West LA. I still say that meeting Tommy Lee at the School of Rock was the best night of my life so far. And I mean that. I mean that, Tommy. I was actually able to help him recall certain memories with the band, and that's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I had like my arm around him. His girlfriend, I think her name is Sofa, you know. She was sitting right in front of me. She was really nice, and you know, I was able to actually help Tommy Lee answer questions that the kids had, you know. And his lawyer was in there, of course. I don't know her name, and it's either his lawyer or his publicist. She's a girl. And she was talking to me, and I told her I was 60, and she's like, ah! You know, she was thinking I was like, you know, had it out for Tommy, and no, no, it's Nikki, I have a crush on Nikki. I left after Nikki, and she was probably thinking that I was thinking about Tommy, and like, no. And she was kind of like, just like, woo, you know. And my dad was there, of course, too. My dad met Tommy. My dad has met Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx with me, keep that in mind. On January 2nd, 2014, I had my 17th birthday. Since I had told Nikki Sixx last year that my birthday was coming up at that meet and greet, I had wanted him to wish me a happy birthday over Twitter, but I didn't want to at first, but guess who I turned to wish me a happy birthday? That's right, Courtney Bingham. She actually tweeted me happy birthday that night. It's kind of sad to think about that now, isn't it? On March 15th, 2014, Nikki Sixx would get married at the Greystone Mansion. I saw a picture on Twitter of the wedding plaque being flashed, which had the place where the marriage ceremony would be taking place engraved into it. Later that day, I crashed their wedding. Yes, I was there. A few wedding guests saw my dad and I walking around the grounds of the Greystone Mansion Park. We stayed outside of the wedding, so we were okay the whole time, but I was as nervous as fuck. I had also seen 2 of his kids in person that day, which meant a lot to me, but I had wanted to just break down and cry the whole time, even though I had a smile on my face in the pictures. Please, keep that in mind. Please keep that in mind. After that event, I fell into yet another deep, dark depression. I would start making book entries where I'd talk about not wanting to be sober anymore, and how I think that drugs and alcohol would make me feel better. This depression that I had also bled out on Twitter, as anyone who reads my tweets knows that.
Well, you can't see this anywhere else. It's Hollywood's heavy metal wedding. A member of Mötley Crüe tied the knot this weekend, and Brooke here scored an invite because, you know, when I think of headbanging, I think of Brooke Anderson.
You might be surprised.
Well, this band is sure crazy. I can imagine what the wedding was like.
Well, you would think it would be crazy, right?
Yeah,
but
sure.
it wasn't. I mean, the bride, Courtney, and even Nikki himself, they wanted it to be low-key and intimate, and it was. It was beautiful.
Okay, are we ready? Around the time when we cut the cake, I'm going to change into my second dress that's beaded and a little easier to move around and dance without tripping and falling into the cake.
2 dresses the bride designed herself, 4 carats of diamonds on her eternity wedding band, E.T. the one show invited inside.
I'm hoping Nikki doesn't pass out when I come walking down the aisle today in my 13-foot-long dress.
Getting ready began at 7 a.m. The key, lots of fake eyelashes. While the bride continued her preps, I got a preview of the wedding scene at the mansion, Greystone Manor. There are those peacocks we told you about, a few swans, and as for the lions Courtney wanted, none of those, just this. Check out this sexy setting where Courtney's going to walk down the aisle to a really gorgeous cross made entirely of white roses, a nice peaceful fountain behind it, and it's really going to be an intimate setting, only about 130 guests. Former Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, Adrienne Maloof, was a guest, along with her younger man, boyfriend Jacob Bush. As for me, my date, my hubby Jim. The ceremony just got over. I was sitting on about the 5th row. It was really beautiful. All 4 of Nikki's kids were standing up front with their dad. And when Courtney came down the aisle, there was, of course, the collective gasp. The reception was very low-key, very intimate. The food, absolutely amazing. The oysters, the split pea soup, the short ribs. He's 55, she's 28. Nikki told me before the wedding what convinced him to say I do for the 3rd time.
I've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows in my life, and I'm in a place where I don't want drama. I want someone that's solid as a rock. That's why I wanted to, lock her down and make sure she wasn't going anywhere.
The honeymoon's in Bora Bora, and then Nikki and Mötley Crüe launched their final tour this summer. As for what's next... So you want kids?
Yeah. 1 kid.
And you're fine with that, Nikki?
I love the idea.
I feel so lucky that I'm marrying my best friend, and I just know we're going to have so many amazing adventures.
It was really special. I had a great time, and Nikki and Courtney, I want to tell you that they were serious about nobody leaking images of the ceremony. Check out this sign at the wedding. Please do not post our wedding on your social media sites, but take 1,000 selfies and have a hell of a good time. And we did. I have a lot of pictures and video on my phone, but we all respected their wishes about the ceremony.
That's all great, but you hadn't been out in a while. I want to know how many of those cotton candy margaritas you had, or martinis.
Martinis. Yeah. I had my fill.
Did you?
Those and the oysters.
That girl.
So this is my reaction to Nikki Sixx and Courtney being on this E.T. debut. Yeah, crushed my dreams.
How many guests?
We're looking at about 130 right now.
It was hard to keep it down.
How many flowers?
Thousands.
Well, that's extravagant, but Courtney Bingham is marrying Nikki Sixx, as in Mötley Crüe. How many animals?
We're looking at some peacocks.
Really?
Right now.
Peacocks!
I wanted to do lions. The lady that runs everything there about had a heart attack when I said, oh yes, can we have 2 lions with trainers? And she's like, oh, the guests are going to be attacked and the city of Beverly Hills is going to be sued.
As for that dress, Courtney invited us to the fitting at her aunt's Northern California boutique, Janine's Bridal.
Oh, I want to hear about it!
The tumble-in last year.
I saw Jennifer Lawrence, the Oscars.
I already heard about this.
And I thought, oh my God.
Oh, great. Jennifer Lawrence crushed my dreams, too. No!
But she is the how-to girl, the expert on finding everything fabulous
How-to...
With the ring, cost was no object. It's pear-shaped and 6 carats.
And his last name is Sixx.
What costs $1 million?
That just worked out perfectly.
What do your parents think about you marrying this guy, rock star?
My mom's...
They love it!
Thought that she would be the one going, what's happening? You're with this rocker? They really love him. My dad and Nikki talk all the time.
Yeah, we're super tight.
One of them for me. So now I don't have to crash the wedding. I'm actually invited. Sweet. It's official. It's official. Yeah, I'm really excited about this wedding.
Okay, I just went a little bit too far. I did. I went a little bit too far. I hope nobody calls the cops on me.
They're serving cotton candy martinis, which, as you see, I made and tried.
What the fuck, martinis?
Delicious. We'll be having it home.
That's the new photo of Gwyneth Paltrow and Chelsea Handler making headlines today. Why? Because Gwyneth is so...
Isn't there more?
Trim, she makes Chelsea Handler look almost plus size.
Isn't there more?
And that's the whole
problem.
Come on.
On.
Image, especially in Hollywood, because the super trend...
Oh, come on, that was all?
Nice pen.
It helps to surround yourself with a lot of people who support you.
Fuck her up to the camera.
You're very brave souls, I must say. All right, check it out. Good night, everybody.
Oh, that was all. That was all. Okay. Now I can watch this and replay this video forever. I've been a part of the School of Rock since December 2012. I had joined totally because of Nikki Sixx in every way possible. One, it goes way back to the MySpace days. It has to do with a band called Jetstream. Two, I had seen the School of Rock Dallas play for Nikki Sixx and interacted with them, as I saw that in a picture that he took with them. I was feeling lonely and had joined in hopes of meeting Nikki, meeting him. But I met Tommy instead, which was a miracle. The School of Rock thing has now been a major part of my life. They help me create music, which makes me feel better about myself. It boosts my confidence. They're also my friends. On July 21st, 2014, I saw a Mötley Crüe concert at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, California with my dad. I was crying inside because I knew it was gonna probably be the last concert for me. For me personally, knowing that Nikki Sixx even wrote Home Sweet Home, that is what makes me fall in love with him. It's really those kinds of intimate things about him, you know, and I really enjoyed the Alice Cooper show, and it has inspired me creatively to try new things. On July 25th, 2014, I had made a serious mistake using Twitter as a vehicle for my self-expression. Keep in mind, I've been using Twitter for like 5 years. And I guess I never learned how to really appropriately use it and not get blocked by people. Okay, so can you like please forgive me? You know, and can you please just like be a little lenient here? Because, you know, like I said, I've been using it as a vehicle for my self-expression. And I've been using it since 2009. I've been on MySpace. You know, I just have completely tore a hole into the internet as far as the social networking thing goes. So, okay, so can you just give me a break? Thank you. And unblock me, too. I had read a press article that Nikki Sixx bought a $4.125 million house for his bride. I thought that I would never have feelings for him again. That night, I slit our existing musician-to-fan relationship, or our artist-to-fan relationship, whatever you want to call it. Artist-to-fan relationship, musician-to-fan relationship, rock star-to-fan relationship, band member-to-fan relationship, and yada, yada, yada. I could go on and on and on. But you know what I'm talking about here. The existing relationship that I established with him that I met when I met him at Napa Auto Parts and over the internet over all these years. Slid it apart by sending him this tweet, quote, "I effing hate you. I'm sorry, but I don't have $4.5 million to buy a mansion. F you," end quote. He blocked me the next day before I could apologize for my angry remarks. Not too long after that, I discovered that Courtney Bingham had blocked me also. I took that as a wake-up call, and I started having remorse for it pretty quickly, letting people like my dad putting me down too because it was stupid. And I've learned from it too, but the sadness from it is still with me. Like I said, I'm still very guilty about it today. I had left Nikki Sixx a phone message to his radio show, uploaded 2 YouTube videos apologizing, and had gotten a call back from him, but didn't get to the phone on time. I'm still sorry for it till this day, and it seems like it's gonna last forever too. So you can kind of see what happened. You know, I've went through hell, you know, and I still haven't gotten what I wanted in life. And then I see this press article that not only did he have a $1 million house, which I didn't have a problem with at first, now a house that costs 4 times that much. I didn't really focus on the fact that he sold that house and is gonna get the money back for that and that. And I didn't even know that Courtney was also paying for it too. Or that's what the press articles say, but I doubt that. You know, and I didn't really think about in the past how Nikki had the quote-unquote Scarface mansion, you know, and that he is a multi-million-dollar man. I didn't look at it that way. I just looked at it as like, oh my God, I'm at the bottom here. You're at the top. I'm gonna just start yelling at you now because I fucking hate myself. So I'm just gonna boom, take it out on you on Twitter, and I'm just gonna roll over like a dead fish and fucking just freak out. Well, that's what happened that day, you know. Video. So I was just talking to myself about Twitter and all that, and I've had a very uncomfortable past, and I've had to live with it. And I keep telling people that I'm working on my book. I kept telling them I was going to release it in July. It's going on August. I haven't released it yet, baby. But I'm planning on releasing it. Well, you know, I'm going to release it sometimes. Oh my God, lightning. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Oh my God. See, it's like a plague. Everything that's going on in my life right now is like a plague. You have the thunder and the lightning. Oh, there's the thunder. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was just telling my dad that everything in my life right now, you know, with Twitter, with the person that I idolize, Nikki, you know, in the way that things are just going about right now, it's almost like the plague in like a Shakespeare tale. It's a perfect scene for a horror movie. You have the thunder and the lightning. Now, let me finish what I was saying. Okay, we tell people not to bully on Twitter. We tell people that internet bullying is bad. If you do it, you are a piece of crap, okay? So basically, if I don't like somebody, I'll just go out and say I don't like somebody, and that's really bad, okay? That's really bad. And sometimes I'll just be like, well, fuck this person, I don't like them, you know, and that's really, I mean, it's catching up with me in a negative way. I can tell right now that it's catching up with me in a negative way, and it spiraled out of control to the point where Nikki Sixx actually blocked me, and now I'm really, like, depressed, and I'm kind of, like, really, like, feeling sorry for myself that I let it get to that point, you know? And, I usually generally don't, you know, people that I know, I treat them very good. You know, I usually generally don't do this, you know, and this is something that, you know, I wouldn't say it just started happening, but a celebrity, if I don't like them, I'll just go out and say it. Okay, how far is it going to get? You know, it's almost like if you don't like somebody, you shouldn't go out and just say it. It's almost like you really shouldn't get on Twitter and go out and say it because I just did, okay? And the guy that I love blocked me. I mean, hello, what is going on? Earth to me, what the hell? And we got the thunder and the lightning storms outside, as you can see, the lightning just scared the shit out of me. But, I'm very haunted by my past. And my past is too long of a story to begin to describe, but usually I have a reason why I say the things I say, or if I don't like somebody, I have a reason why. You know, the reason why, there's this one girl I don't like, and the reason why I don't like her is because I was trying to be a model. And I just looked at some of the photos that I took back in 2010, and I knew those were the photos that I took, okay, and I looked at them. But back then, when I saw her photos, when I had heard about her, you know, I heard it, okay. So she, okay, long story short, I looked at her modeling photos, looked at my modeling photos. I knew that I was nothing, that I was a clown. I was never gonna get a modeling gig because of how I looked like. I just looked like a mess with my makeup. My body was not sexy, and I don't have the sexiest body. I'm sorry. I wish I did. Okay, but so like, you know, some parents just say their kids should totally quit the Twitter. I keep in touch with a lot of people on there, and I have a lot of fun on there too. Sometimes it can be a very pleasurable activity. Okay, you know, it can be, and I like to express how I feel because that makes me feel good on the inside and outside. But right now, that shit ain't gonna make me feel good. So I just went to a Mötley Crüe concert on July 21st. That was last Monday. A week later, I know that shit's falling apart. That shit ain't good right now, okay? It's weird how everything just kind of like crumbles down, and I never expected to see, you know, so this, okay,
mansion thing. So you had a house in Calabasas for $1 million. I really like that house. I really like the pictures that you shared of that house. Okay. And then I find out that you're $4 million on the other house. It's okay now. I realize that, you know, you probably really, I mean, I don't blame you. Calabasas want to move out. I don't blame you. And, you know, I realize that, you know, probably has been wanting to do this for a long time. And now, you know, I know I wish I could have that too, you know, but I actually took it too far. How I felt. I took it a little bit too far, and it's all documented in my book. And I'm going to be a very famous author, but I took it a little too far, okay? And I just wanted to let you know, Nikki Sixx, I'm sorry, okay? Wow, I go to one Mötley Crüe concert, and now look at me. Look at what I'm going through now. I am stressed the fuck out. Jesus, I am under pressure to publish my book, The Background of Anne, and I have all this shit. Look at all this shit. Yes? All that? Okay, so I'm connecting, you know, a little scrambling, like, I'm playing like a game of Scramble here. I'm playing a game of checkers. I'm playing a game of Monopoly or whatever. Okay, I'm just trying to put the puzzle together, and I'm piecing my book together, and I'm rushing. I'm working my ass off, okay? I'm literally working my ass off to do all this. And this is something for everybody who knows me, and, like, maybe the whole world to see, you know? I mean, that's just what I would like to do, and I actually want to be a rock star. And rock and roll is something in my family, you know, that is, like, rock and roll is pretty much my heritage, okay? So I really want to go out there, and I want to do it, and I want to put out the best in my book, you know? So, I mean, what's up with this internet debate thing, you know? I mean, like, God. Sometimes Twitter can be like my personal journal, you know? I mean, it's freaking incredible, you know. We never used to have that. I don't know how many years ago. I started using Twitter in 2009, but I've hopped from different accounts. I don't know what to tell you. If there's somebody you don't like, whether or not you go on Twitter and say, I don't like this celebrity or that celebrity for that reason, or just all of a sudden start saying how you feel just because you feel like it, you know? I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it really okay to express yourself and express how you feel? Is it really okay? I don't know if it's ever okay. You know, sometimes I just feel like it's not okay. I hate to tell you that, because I know you love it, and I love it too, but, like, doesn't that make you feel, you know, kind of... I mean, I've blocked people before, too. I've blocked a lot of people. And now somebody I really looked up to has blocked me because, yeah, I did the unthinkable, because I couldn't take it anymore, you know. And I know, I listened to his radio show that he's probably not going to unblock me, because usually it's long-term block, you know, so I don't know. I plan on publishing my book. I hope things get better after that. I hope I land in some good place on maybe, you know, I don't know. Do I want to become a little bit of a celebrity? Honestly, yes. Yes, I think I would like that lifestyle, but not all the, like, paparazzi and everything like that. You know, I don't want it to get, like, Justin Bieber-ish. That would be horrible. It's not who I want to be, man, you know? I want to be my fucking self, you know? Okay. Well, I will see if, oh my God. When do I think my book is going to come out? That's what everybody wants to hear. When is Anne Hill's book going to come out? Well, I can give you a rough estimate, maybe by August 25th, or anywhere between August 15th, August 25th. If it goes past that, then I'm obviously very busy. Either my parents are looking at it and editing it, or I'm trying to make some major changes because I just said something that, you know, I didn't want to include in there. I may be deleting stuff or whatever. But, you know, I'm a good person. I get angry and I say things I don't mean. And I just hop out of my freaking head because it's like, I think that I'm going to feel this way for, like, forever. Sometimes when I say something, I literally think that I'm going to say it forever. And it's not like that. It's not like that, bitch. You don't say something and have it be forever. No, you're going to say something. It's like, you're going to say this, okay? Especially if you say something bad. It's not forever, because you're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel bad about it. And then you're going to be like, oh, wait, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, because you just said it. And you thought it was going to be forever, but guess what? It's like you're waking up the next day and you're not saying the same thing anymore. You know, it's like you're literally going to wake up, like, 2 days later and be like, oh, that's not what I want to say anymore. I just had said that because I was feeling like that for maybe the minute I said it, or whatever. Things literally just slip out of our minds, and then we forget about it, and then move on, and then it gets us back, because it's like, you know, it's like, okay, now I'm going to try to think, if I don't like somebody, just have a good, valid reason. It's like, if somebody killed somebody else, of course, you know, it's like, what the hell are we doing, you know? I was just like, what the hell did I do on Twitter, and what the hell is going on? Seriously. What the hell is going on with these damn thunderstorms? Shit, like, this shit's scary. Shit's scaring me, man. Man, I'm only 17. Man, I've been posting on Facebook, I'm sorry, and I had this whole explanation as to how I'm struggling to have control over my emotions. So, I'm gonna try to go get control out of my emotions now. Yes, I'm gonna get control over my emotions now, obviously. I mean, the only good thing about him blocking me is the fact that he wanted to teach me a lesson. I don't know if that's what his intentions were, but he did teach me a lesson. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna try to go, oh God, how can I go to sleep, right? It's like, why even bother going to sleep, you know? I got so much stuff to do. I am going to finish this book, though. I am going to finish this book. And this book is going to be my baby. This book, that's right. This book, The Background of Anne, is going to be my first baby. That's right. I'm going to go walk around with a baby carriage and get a baby bottle and go have a pile of my books in a baby carriage. And be like, look, I'm a mom now. The Background of Anne, this is my book. I'll be like, this is my book, this is my baby, you know? Okay, that's kind of weird, but I'm just saying. My book means a lot to me because I have, you know, I have baggage. You know, I have baggage that I really need to, like, just... And believe me, it's not like, anything that I say on Twitter. Actually, it's a lot different. it's stuff that is personal, you know, personal life stories, whether or not you give a shit. They are personal life stories and personal accounts of maybe my emotions and my feelings, and then I'll go back and kind of like just pat it down and say, you know, I'm sorry that I typed this, or I'll be like, I'm sorry that I felt this way. So weird, right? Am I talking? I must be talking shit. But my book is, oh yeah, it's like there's something else. My sexuality is something interesting, you know. That is something interesting. I'm actually very, I don't know how to, I know, I freaking know, man, I know I'm not like everybody else, so not like everybody else who is my age, because I have, okay, I like, I freaking, it's just not coming out, because I'm embarrassed, that's why. I'm freaking a little embarrassed right now. Okay. Oh my god, I can't seriously just spit it out before my iPhone runs out of battery? Okay, I'll give you some hints. Mature, big, tall. But tall really isn't something that has to do with it, but I'm not telling you what it is, because in my book I talk about it, and I'm probably the only person who's talking about it, and the only person who's writing a book about it, because maybe other people are just too afraid to speak out about it, or other people just grew up and never realized that they were like that, you know? Yeah. Okay, go on Google and look up this one word. It's called, I'm just gonna blur it out, teleiophilia. Look it up. Teleiophilia, look that up. And you don't know how to spell it, too bad. You know, I talk about that in my book. And that's something I've had ever since I was really young, you know. Always had teleiophilia. And that's something that almost brought me to my ending point in 2010. That's what the struggle is about being 13. That's the struggle. That is the main cause of my struggle when I was 13. No, I still haven't recovered from it. Why? Because it was a huge struggle. Something beyond your complexity, okay? Something beyond, it's definitely something beyond your complexity. I mean, I had to, you know, I basically just had to, oh, man. Ooh. Well. I think I feel a little bit better now, but yeah. Okay, so what did I have to go through when I was 13? How you really want to know? Yes, I was in the City of Angels all the time, driving up there and back, and sometimes, you know, taking maybe a weekend vacation up there, you know, and I was just like, I had to have, well, you know, I'm talking about in my book, but this video was about Twitter, whether or not you should say you don't like or like somebody on Twitter. I don't know how to tell myself to keep myself in check with that shit. I don't know, man, I don't know. I really don't know. Anyhow, I still have this on my wall, surprisingly. I've been having a crush on him since I was maybe 3 years old. And I basically have had a little of everything with reading up, you know, learning about him, and my feelings about him, okay? It's been a fucking wild ride. Who is seriously, like, like, I don't know how, but who is seriously, like, a little girl having feelings for somebody like that? Nobody. Nobody but me! My feelings are fucking intense. I mean, I'm just like, you know, this love is heavy, okay? And, I mean, like, it's good, but it's not good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's good, but it's not good. And I'm a good person, of course, you know. I'm a good person. But it's just like, it could be good, or it could be bad sometimes, because I either get upset or I get happy. I'm either really happy or really upset. So, I don't know. Don't be saying, don't look at me like that! I met Nikki, on August 14th, 2014. You want to see my pictures that I have with him? I think they're buried somewhere. Oh my god. I find a picture frame. Just finding a bunch of crap. So here's your proof that I really did meet him, and I'm happy that I met him, of course, and I gave him a hug. My mom actually gave him something very personal, you know, because his books have changed my life. Maybe I haven't went out directly and said that before, okay? Because of all these emotions and feelings I have, and maybe I just, like, focus on other things. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking tell you. I don't know if I should tell you, but I'm gonna tell you that I have autism. But I think that I'm just like every other woman out there, but I have autism. So I laid that one down for you. And I started wearing glasses in, I think, 2011 is when I started. I used to not wear glasses. Now I don't wear any makeup at all either, because everybody was being so mean to me, and they're like, Annie, take off that makeup! Oh, you look ugly! Blah! So I don't wear any makeup anymore. And now, yeah, I just scratch my face. I know, it's like, wow. I went through a major change since I've been 13, but I still carry that with me. It's like dead weight. Oh. I think I'm going to change my ways on Twitter a little bit after making this video. I mean, I think that, you know, that maybe, I don't know. I sometimes it's just like, I want to say something and I can't. Because it's so mixed up in my emotions, it's just like, I can't say what I want to say. It's just like literally not coming out. Maybe I said everything already. Maybe I already said everything I want to say. You know. Should I read my Facebook post to you? Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Because I'm like so totally into this right now that I'm going to read it. And prove to you that I am a good person. I may be going a little bit too far with this, but, you know, I've just had such a bad week that I'm literally like out of the room. I've just had such a bad week. I've had a really bad week, okay? I've really had a bad week, okay? I just found out you blocked me on Twitter. You're probably thinking my true colors came out, that I'm a real hateful, mean person, a bitch. The truth is I'm not. I'm just drowning in a cold blood when it comes to my emotions. Of course, just like you, I'm a good, kind, caring, and thoughtful person. Yes, and I made a backup account, and I'm tweeting with my backup account now. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, okay, I talk about my past a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, when your parent has a low-paying job, and somebody else you look up to on top of you, and that urge is just screaming inside of you, it's just like, you gotta say it, you know? Even though even though it's like you didn't mean it, you just gotta say it. Yeah, that's basically what happened to me. I'm a victim of my own emotions. I just went out and said it, you know? And, okay, what else? Oh yeah, I don't know, is it called tough love because maybe he still thinks well of me? Yeah, maybe he just wants me to learn a lesson about using Twitter. I don't know, it's like, you know, sometimes I think I'm very smart on Twitter. It's like, I don't know. I'm just like everybody else, but I have a problem with saying I don't like people. I'll just blurt it out and say I don't like them. It's a problem that I have. Celebrities, yes. Not usually people that I know, but I don't know. I've gotten in a lot of Twitter wars, okay? I've blocked a lot of people, and a lot of people, I think this is my first time getting blocked, personally. Wait, no. Oh yeah, somebody else did block me. Another Nikki Sixx fan blocked me. Sometimes it happens. You start being hateful towards people you love because you don't know how to rationally express how you feel anymore. That is so true. That is so true. And you know that you've gone in feuds, you know? Maybe everything happens for a reason. So, it's like 1:30. 1:30. I've been going to bed at freaking 6 o'clock in the morning and getting up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or some shit like that. And I have a place to go tomorrow. And I gotta be there by 9 o'clock. Okay, so I gotta stop doing this video, so I'm just gonna click the record button. And the big red button in the middle of my screen, and just, I hope I said everything I have to say already. I think I'm ready to do this now. I try to rehearse this a little bit. Okay, so here I go.
Hey, Nikki Sixx, thanks for calling. Please leave me a message. Let us know what's on your mind. If we like it, we find it interesting, we might just use it on the air, so make it good. Don't forget to leave your name. Thanks.
Hey, it's Ann, and I just want to say I'm sorry for everything that has been happening on Twitter, and I'm extremely sorry for the tweet that I sent out on July 25th. I know I reacted negatively when I saw that article, and I'm really, really sorry that I reacted like that. And I just want to let you know how it's affecting me psychologically and emotionally. I'm feeling really stressed out. I'm in like panic mode. I'm freaking out, and I'm anxious. It's affecting all aspects of my life. My life isn't the same anymore, and I want you to unblock me. You know, I want you, you blocked my backup account too. So I want you to unblock at @thehillfamilyhouse. And I really want to clear this up because I'm really sorry about all the hateful remarks I've been making on Twitter. You know, I think I'm just now waking up and realizing what I'm doing was really bad, and I'm not going to be the same anymore. I promise that if you unblock me, I'm going to be on good behavior, and I'm not going to tweet you to the point where it's annoying, you know, or anything. I promise I'll be on good behavior, that I'll change. And I've been trying to reach out to you to tell you that I'm sorry. I've made a YouTube video, I've sent you an email, I've posted stuff on Facebook, and you even blocked my backup account. And things used to be good between us, okay? I gave you a hug at Napa Auto Parts, and we had a nice conversation there. That was last year. And last time we talked, it was in June, and you were giving me some positive encouragement with my book. We talked about me stealing those magnets, you know. It was a really good conversation, you know. And I've never told you this before, but I'm just going to drop the bomb here. You know, I love you, and your books have totally changed my life. You know, I wasn't the same person before until I had read your books, you know, and your book, The Heroin Diaries, I gotta admit, it saved my life because I was really into hardcore partying, and that book is probably the only reason why I'm still here today. So it's really affecting me negatively. It's putting a huge scar, you know, in my life. This Twitter, this thing, if you're blocking me on Twitter, and how I'm trying to reach out to you and apologize, and you're not getting any of my messages, and how you're going out of your way to block me, even block my backup account. And, you know, I'm not gonna be like that anymore. I am really sorry. I'm 17 years old. You know, I'm trying to grow up. I'm struggling emotionally. So if you want to help me out, if you want to clear this up, please tell me that you want to clear this up. Oh, I'm exceeded maximum.
To listen to your message, press 1. To erase and re-record, press 2. To send, press 3. To send this message as urgent, press 4. Please enter the selection now.
What the f...
You have exceeded maximum maximum voicemail duration. Your message will be deleted unless you press 3 to save it. To listen to your message, press 1. To erase and re-record, press 2. To send, press 3. To send this message as urgent, press 4. Please enter your selection now.
What do you do to delete the message? I don't know.
Hey, it's Anne, and I just want to say I'm sorry for...
This is fucked up, man. What the hell?
I'm extremely sorry for the July 25th. I know I reacted negatively.
I didn't even get a chance to leave my number. I didn't even get a chance to fucking leave my number.
It's just now, I'm in like panic mode, I'm freaking out, and I'm anxious. It's my life.
What do I do? I didn't leave my phone number.
So I want you to, you unblock, you blocked.
See, I'm stuttering.
Unblock at and I really want to clear this up because
Excuse me.
the hateful remarks I've been making on Twitter.
It's stuttering.
Waking up and realizing what I'm doing was really bad, and I'm not going
I have to delete this message, man. It's like, it's a little bit messed up.
on good behavior, and I'm not going to treat you to the point where it's annoying, you know, or anything. I promise I'll be on good behavior. That
I'll just repeat what I said.
Sorry, I've made a YouTube video.
Okay, so I'm going to try this again. This time I have to try to make it short and sweet. Hey, it's Anne, and I just wanted to apologize for everything that's been happening on Twitter, you know, that I'm really sorry, and I'm sorry that I reacted like that to whatever I saw and tweeted you on July 25th, and I want you to unblock me at @thehillfamilyhouse. I think I'm just now waking up to see what I'm doing is bad, and I promise I'll be on good behavior this time, and I won't tweet you to the point where it's annoying, and I just want to let you know how this has affected me emotionally and psychologically. I'm feeling really stressed out, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling anxiety, and I'm in panic mode, I'm freaking out. I've tried to reach out to you to let you know that I'm sorry in a lot of different ways, including making a YouTube video. You also you blocked my backup account also. You not only have my main account blocked, but you have my backup account blocked, and it's really affecting me as a fan. I know I probably hurt your feelings, which I'm trying to tell you that I'm more than extremely sorry, but this is also hurting me, and this is affecting all aspects of my life, so I really would like to clear this up. Things used to be good between us, you know. I hugged you at Napa. My mom gave you something very personal of hers, and the last time we talked was in June. You gave me some positive encouragement with my book, and you told me to have a good day. Well, now I'm not having a good day anymore, so I really want to clear this up, so call me back at 310. The hell? Battery low. Battery low. Battery is fucking low. Can you believe that? This is crazy. I can't even get in a message. I'm getting really bad luck, and it's driving me nuts. My cell phone now. Oh, God, there's probably going to be 2 messages in the inbox now. Okay, so now I'm actually going to try and leave my number, and I'm not going to leave another long-winded message again. Because I don't want him to get the wrong idea. This time I'm going to try to leave my number. What? Damn it! Oh my God! Now I'm calling a 310 number. What is going on in my life right now? What ghost is trying to haunt me? Okay, I'm clicking the wrong buttons. And I'm dialing the wrong number. Now I'm calling. Okay, I left a message like 10 minutes ago and I was talking about the Twitter thing. I'm at @thehillfamilyhouse, and I'm really sorry about the Twitter thing. I'm like really stressed out and I'm anxious, you know, and I'm like in panic mode and stuff, you know. I was talking about how it's affected all aspects of my life, and I want you to unblock @thehillfamilyhouse. But my cell phone ran out of battery, so I couldn't leave my number, so you could work this out with me and maybe call me back, you know, leave me a message. My number is 310-310-93. So again, if you want to call me back and work out this Twitter thing with me, because I am not having a good day right now, and maybe we could discuss this. I've been trying to reach out to you to tell you that I'm sorry, okay? So I'm at @AnneHillFreeLeno on Twitter, and I'm extremely sorry, and I'm going to definitely be changing my ways on Twitter. So I just want to let you know I'm sorry, and I wanted to leave my number that time so you could possibly call me back to discuss this, maybe on your radio show possibly. Okay? I'm still your fan, and I still love you very much, and I didn't mean it, you know. I really didn't mean it, you know, and I'm really sorry now, and I'm paying the price. Okay, bye. Okay, so I did what I could do. Maybe I'll leave another message again tomorrow, or I shouldn't. I mean, the other message didn't go out as planned, obviously.
Really intense. Oh my god. Oh my god. I like literally like I'm frozen right now. It's like I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm literally like I just can't do it. I figured out what was from I'm like I just like I can't. Oh my god, am I gonna seriously do this right now? I'm like dang. No, I'm gonna just go ahead and call the number, and I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna chicken out, and I'm gonna fucking hang up. Your call cannot be completed at this time. God. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's probably like 10 minutes later. They called me like 10 minutes later, and I'm just doing this. Oh lord. If I get a call can't be completed as dial again, I'm gonna just totally freak out. I'm just gonna beg this. Oh yeah, I got the answer machine again. Forget it. I think I got a phone call from him. I actually got a phone call. I think I actually got a phone call from him. Holy shit. I think he actually called me and said freaking private. I'm starting to feel a little bit better now. Oh, I feel good. I feel good now. Yeah, I will answer it, Emily. I will. Shit. June 16th, 2014 was the last time that I talked to Nikki Sixx. He was taking phone calls on his radio show about stealing. I took a good hard look at my past. I remembered that I stole some magnets out of the gift store when I was a little toddler. One magnet was shaped like a cookie, so I innocently took it thinking that it was a real cookie. One thing significant about that phone call is that Nikki had asked me if my parents had a talk with me about it. I had told him that I didn't remember, but now I do remember, and I don't think that there was no talk. My parents have pretty much stood by me the whole time while I was growing up and have let me do whatever I wanted for the most part. And you can clearly see that, right? Other than this, I've never really stolen anything in my whole life that I can remember because I'm a fucking good person. That day I had also told him and his co-host Jen about my book. I had described it to Nikki Sixx saying, quote, "It's dark and something that only affects me." Quote. I told him that he'll see what it is. What I was really talking about to him that day was my teleiophilia. I didn't have the nerve to talk about the teleiophilia, of course. I usually just don't have the nerve to talk about it to people. You know, I don't flat out have the nerve to even, you know, I don't even have the nerve to like open up to people about it. That's how locked up. That's how secret kept locked up. That's just the reality of it. That's how much that is under a lock and key, you know, and I can't just, you know, go randomly saying that anybody that, you know, I'm talking to and just say, oh, I have teleiophilia and this is what teleiophilia is, because they'll look at me and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? They'll think I'm fucking weird or something. And that's why I haven't told you about it either, Nikki. Because it's like, you know, you look at me, you know, and just think to yourself, wow. And I've been so ridiculed for it. And I'm just kind of like, you know. But nowadays, I could really be talking about the course of my whole life for the most part, really. Before I said goodbye, I remember Nikki had said something to me. Go for it in regards to my book. I didn't really want to hang up, man, but I had to. I remember that I was about ready to spit it out, too, and tell him right there on the spot that I love him before I hung up. I was about ready to, but I got too scared. Recently, since mid to late June, I've been writing about how I think that having medical marijuana can be the only way I'll be able to get over Nikki Sixx. I've been thinking about it like it's the only way out of my life's problems here. That's kind of a major problem for me because I still go to high school and I haven't even gone through with it yet. And I can't say right now whether I will or I won't go through with it. What I'm afraid of is people losing respect for me. My guitar teacher, Scott, August 2014, had got me into songwriting again. On Saturday, August 30th, 2014, I wrote a song called Teardrops, which best expresses my strongest feelings for Nikki Sixx. In this song, I also write about him. In this song, I also write about my personal emotions and having a crush on him, including how I felt that day. In the song, I was able to get my deepest emotions out by writing about him as a her. So I wrote about him as a girl. Because I think that there's more love songs out there by guys written specifically for girls. The same day, I came to the School of Rock and I worked with Maureen, who is a professional songwriter from a band called Eminem 5. Together, her and I improved the original. And more stuff came out of me and directly into that song also. I've written 6 other songs for my book this month along with Teardrops. Yes, Teardrops is in fact a love song for Nikki Sixx. At age 3, I was also diagnosed with autism at this one center that specializes in diagnosing autism, and we started having a therapist come to our house, and I had speech delay in like kindergarten and first grade,
my autism affected me making friends, and I was afraid of barking dogs. I was very sensitive to loud noises, and I was also sensitive to getting my feelings hurt when people would scold me for getting in trouble when I was little. I was very sensitive to that. And when my parents would leave me at school and at preschool or cry a lot of kids do that. But I was very sensitive, and I was even more sensitive after my autism. After I was diagnosed with autism and they knew I had it, I was less outgoing and less social. And I don't think I ever had a touch of autism before I turned 3 years old, so I'm autistic also. In January 2013, I would record my first song ever and upload it on YouTube. It got approximately 300 views. The song is called Next Rock Star, and the guitar recording is terrible. You can hear me counting rhythms in the background, and I'm just trying to keep a tune, and it's like, it kind of sounds a little bit goofy, if you ask me. My opinion of it now, looking back on it, and the lyrics are very goofy, the song sounds very goofy, but I was actually trying to be serious back then, and I really meant what I said about being the next rock star, apparently,
I want to be the next rock star. My favorite bands are Mötley Crüe and Kiss. I love Nikki Sixx because he is so cool. He is the greatest bassist ever. Mötley Crüe is the greatest band to walk the planet. One day I will become an awesome guitar player, 'cause I take lessons at the School of Rock, and the kids are awesome. I buy rock shirts in Hollywood because it's fun. I have an appetite to rock. Music inspires me to be what I want to be. Entertainment is my passion. Fashion is my ambition. Instruments are my destiny. I want to become the next rock star, 'cause I was born to rock and roll.
In 2009, when I was 12 years old, I had started creating electronic music. This is the first kind of music that I ever attempted to make in my life. So now I'm going to play you all of those very short electronic songs that I made in 2009 when I was 12 years old. They were up on one of my first MySpace pages. By the way, on October 8th, 2014, at the last meet and greet I went to, I actually personally signed this CD. This is my own music album. It's basically a bunch of first take demo songs that I did on this CD. I burned the CD in about an hour before I went to the actual meet and greet. So as you can see here, I signed it for him, and this is what the album cover looks like, you know. And I actually gave this to him at the meet and greet. So here's some dialogue here. I whipped it out and said, I said, "Will you take this?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." And then he just took it and put it behind him in this pile of other stuff that he was taking home or whatever. All I know is he just put it away somewhere, and I don't know if he's listened to it. And in a way, I sort of doubt myself that he has. But if he has, great, you know. But if you haven't, you haven't. I mean, you know, but yeah. But what do you think this is about? You know, here's some of the songs off the CD. We're going to start sampling these. I'm a secret lover. I'm a dog. I'm a foolhardy desperado. I want to love you. Feel your heart beating up against my cold hands. Feel your cold breath up against my cheeks, eating away at my heart, feeling the teeth biting me, feel the makeup running down your cheeks, feel the sweat your heart gives off like a bullet from a gun. What did I do? Show the world what a fool I am, making it pretty obvious who I am. Fool in your eyes, here at your side, hooked on something alright, flirted with disaster. What happens when your life is crashing down? Oh, oh. You can't see the way I feel inside. I love you, I want to hold you. You'll never realize that we're just enemies because I love you so terribly. I can't rid of this feeling when I talk to you. When I hide behind my feelings for you, you'll never understand because I want to hold your hand. What happened to divide us? A series of sad, sad events. Still the guilt of loving you remains. Watch by the electric eye, running through dreams and nightmares. See my crystal eyes, they tell stories. Come out and play with me, slave to the void. Metallic thoughts running through us all. Cut roses with my knife. No more lies, my bloodshot eyes. Your heart is mine. The love you take is what will break the balance of time. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. I wanna put on a show and I don't wanna go home. I wanna get out of here. I wanna get out of here. It only takes a couple of teardrops to realize you're the one. It only takes a couple of teardrops to realize you're crazy. It only takes a couple of teardrops to realize you're up and down. Girl, don't be counting on me no more. You're not getting any more of me. Watch you melt in the sun like ice. Watch your mascara run. How you entice. Just a couple of teardrops to know I do it all for you. It's like, okay, what do you think this is about? So, Nikki inspired me to write all these songs because of him blocking me. That frustration led to the spewing out of all these lyrics. So actually, this is pretty much all about him, except there's only one song that's not about him. That song is called F You. That's not about him. That is not about him. I repeat, that is not about him. You know, but pretty much that whole album is about him. And any, like, love songs, you know, anything that you can connect with that stands out to you, oh, yeah. That's what this is all about, man.